here today, but we're looking forward to just sit back and chill with our running shoes on, and we're off already. How about that?
Well, the uncle already knows this seat is the worst. That's concerning.
Hoping that is not a harbinger of things to come as 4 runners go ahead and get their way out the door. We have a flute in our first chest. Oh boy.
Ocarina of Time was that fast. You can have the flute right in the ocarina right in Link's house. But yes, we do have a standard start, so we are going to see everybody zip through the Hyrule Castle here to pick up their to go check on their uncle. Now, since they already have a sword, they will not be guaranteed a weapon here, and it looks like they're getting just 20 bucks. Now, Ken did an early map check for us as well. We have a vanilla green pendant at Eastern with a pair of blue crystals at Hera and Desert.
Alright, as all 4 runners make their way out of the secret passage, not much to work with here, but of course that set of bombs is going to be useful as soon as we get into the Kakariko checks, because we're not going to have to buy bombs now.
Indeed, and with Pegasus boots in tow, backup escape is also free regardless of their loadout. So while bombs would surely be appreciated, they will not be necessarily something our runners will be in the market for in a hurry. Get an early small... Sorry.
And it had to be somewhere in the front here, or at Dark Cross itself, or we can't get out of here.
Yes, ideally our runners will find nothing but items in the remaining chests and be able to skip the Sanctuary chest since it will contain the map under those circumstances. Next up looks like a heart piece in the boomerang chest. And the ball and chain guard giving Days Cloud and Michael 1985 no trouble, as Zelda is rescuing herself? What?
My time travel's bad, folks. We've created a paradox already.
I thought the paradox was on Death Map. Never mind.
I don't know, I don't climb that one.
It looks like Days Cloud is going to be our first runner to carry Zelda out of her cell and into the back to the first floor of Hyrule Castle. Michael not too far behind him, though. Now, since neither of our runners have picked up the lamp, thankfully the randomizer does account for this and will give you a free light cone.
And in standard modes, that light cone is present anytime you're in this escape sequence, but any other dark room in the world is going to be dark unless you have that lamp item.
Yeah, otherwise you'd be guaranteed a lamp somewhere in the first 4 chests, and that would reduce some of the mystery, let's be honest. Days Cloud, our first runner to check the Dark Cross item. And gets a sword. So we're running Master Sword going out of Hyrule Castle. That's alarming.
It's a little convenient, but also it's going to tell us a little bit of something if we happen to find a Moon Pearl and a lamp and not much else. What is that going to tell us, do you think?
Yeah, tell us we might be looking at an Aghanim required seed for Dark World access. Now, to be fair, the flute does grant them access to Death Mountain, which does allow them to at least get the item in Logic and Spectacle Rock. That's about it, though. And we get...
Ice Rod.
Yeah, well, I think it's a safe bet Turtle Rock's a pendant tonight. 2 out of 7 chance it could happen. But yeah, as demonstrated with boots, our runners have no qualms about getting this without burning their bombs. Although it looks like the rats are dropping bombs as well, so a nice little extra refill there for Daze Cloud and Michael.
Yeah, our top runner's leaving with 5 bombs in the escape sequence. And Sankheart is vanilla.
Okay.
Okay.
Randomized. We got a sword and a Sankheart in the escape sequence.
One thing you can do in casual boots, you start with boots, so you get this Bonk Rocks check early, really early.
We start things off with a Bombos medallion in Bonk Rocks. Could be a valuable advanced fire source for Ice Palace. Now, I didn't get a chance to ask this out before we started, Zeruvian, but what are you hoping to see in this seed tonight?
I want a nice clean seed where we're going fast and not having to worry about things being too convoluted. And you see a boomerang on the Aghanim ledge, so already that's looking like the modus operandi of this particular role.
Yeah, I don't think any of our runners are going to be going back for that. We get a tree pull as well. It looks like it's just full magic, which full magic is nice, but not really what we're looking for. And hearts from the bush crab.
Full magic could be useful later on, especially when you already have one magical item, but the Master Sword pretty much puts a lot of that to bed as well, unless somehow the early desert play is an option here.
Yeah, perhaps use that Bombos medallion for a little bit of extra offensive boost in case a room is giving you a lot of trouble. Not much going on in the Lost Woods, though. Just a little extra cash and some extra bombs. So, interestingly, a very rupee-starved seed. We've only seen a few big 20s. That's about it. Now, granted, that could change in a heartbeat once we get to Kakariko. Plenty of checks down here.
It only takes 1/300 to set you on rupees for pretty much the entire early part of the seed. Of course,
Yeah,
Daze Cloud. Get your 07s in chat, folks. We're going to see a lot of active ducks in just a moment.
Only 7.5 minutes in, and the swag duck has already been set loose. Now, what I'm hoping to see is a sub 15-minute King's Tomb. I like to see a pair of gloves nice and early.
Ooh, I'm right there with you. I would love to see both gloves early. Early Dark World, early Myths checks. Early Mirror is one. Oh, there's a Fire Rod too.
Mirror and Fire Rod. Mirror and Fire Rod makes Tower of Hera full clearable. How about that? That's a pretty stacked blinds HUD if I ever would say.
I'd say this is already fast tracking on the way to Stackerico, but we have a bunch more to look at here still.
We sure do.
Of course, that 300 means we're not leaving the bottle vendor behind either. That's good to find.
Yeah, no need to concern ourselves with that this time around. Michael, our first one into the bottom of the well, finding... Now that blank
there's
chest
our boots.
There... Yep. Now, while the logic doesn't account for that location, that would be where the boots would have been. Oh, and there's that first glove. I don't know, that 15-minute King's Tomb check is looking like a mighty fine possibility. Bottle vendor ripping us off today, though.
I am starting to feel like an early Dark World seed wouldn't be out of the question here.
Yeah, we're not looking for much. We only need either a lamp for Aga 1, or a Moon Pearl and a hammer, or a Moon Pearl and another glove.
that Moon Pearl that's really putting it, in the who knows when we're going to see it.
And with that second 300 in the chicken hut there, runners may start thinking about doing Zora sometime around later down the road, as that glove does put Zora in logic. Getting a shirt as well in the back of the tavern, so runners running on blue mail nice and early before their Dark World access, that's always something you want to see. Another nice advantage of having the boots, we can just go check the library and get it right away. Too bad it's another big 20.
And here's another one of those walls you can just dash into and open up to go visit the race game and see what trash we have in store today.
Yeah, this is a blind check tonight. Not a bad option, especially since you have boots, so this doesn't take a lot of time at all. And if you don't like it, you have flute, so... But it looks like Daze Cloud's gonna pick it up anyway. I can understand that. Only having 5 hearts blue mail is nice, but still, you would like to have a little more. I absolutely did not... I'm sorry, you first.
As I say, here's our first little taste of divergence here. As we've got one of us fluting to 7 and going straight for the dam, and the other one, Michael, has gone ahead to get Agina out of the way.
And Tabby Cat's actually following right behind him at the moment. Not much going on in the dam.
Not much going on with old Agina either. So what were you going to say, Captain?
No, I was just going to say that Michael was going to Desert as well, but you beat me to it.
Aha.
But in the meantime, we've got Daze Cloud, our first runner into Mini Moldorm Cave. Another 5 fairly trivial checks here, especially with sword beams. No need to burn the bombs. I'm pretty sure that's going to be one of almost every rupee type except the green rupee, but it ends with the hammer.
I was going to say, that's a pretty decent thieves hideout, but then the hammer shows up, and we are talking about a Moon Pearl for Dark World access now.
Yeah, there's a lot of places where that could be, but with hammer and mirror in tow, we have East Death Mountain access.
And that is a very nice set of 8 different checks you can make just for climbing down the mountain. And it's quick, too, with the Spiral Cave with the boots. That's the way you'd rather do it.
Oh, yes. It does seem like Daze Cloud decided to skip out on Ice Rod Cave for now, but that is admittedly a fairly easy flute to 8 to go check later down the road if need be. Meanwhile,
it's your turn. Go ahead.
Meanwhile, we are going to see Daze Cloud sequence break the old man. Just gives us a piece of heart for our trouble.
Yeah, if nothing else, that respawn point is nice to have.
Indeed. I would not be surprised to see Daze Cloud do a Tower of Hera dive here, as it is a full clearable crystal dungeon. And shouldn't be too difficult with Master Sword already in tow.
Right. I want to see if one of these runners set up for a water walk coming out of Ice Rod Cave.
That could be a nice idea. That would give him a nice excuse to check Waterfall Fairy. We have our Dark World map check. Meyer and Pod are remaining 2 pendants, and I saw Thieves Town.
You're gonna love the other 5-6.
What was it, Swamp?
It was Turtle Rock.
So those rods both gonna come into play tonight.
Michael and Tabby walking on water.
Yeah, this is not a bad play, especially since that the only check you're really not going to be able to set up particularly well is the Zor Ledge check. Everything else you're going to be able to get no problem. And I see a magic cape in the Waterfall of Wishing, which Granted, we don't have flippers to put that in logic yet, but that doesn't bode well for the implications of possibly having to do AGA for Dark World access.
There's our third sword sitting on Zora Ledge.
The one item of convenience in particular, I'm sure our runners would love to have, but can't get unless they want to do some Ancilla strats. And yeah, we got scammed.
All things considered, that's pretty generous for Zora.
Indeed. Still a net loss, though, so scam.
Dazed Cloud having to sit and wait out tile room here, because the big key for Hera is waiting in the basement.
Yeah, I think it was a compass out in the open, so that's going to be both items up top. And Tabby is going to be our first runner to check out the eastern area. This isn't a bad play either. Besides the Armos Knights, she could almost full clear Eastern Palace. Unless, of course, Lamp just so happens to conveniently show up here. And she's also missing the bow, so... And Sahasrara just has a lot of money and a little bit of love.
And did you see what Dazed Cloud just picked up?
I did not.
That's our single arrow out of the way already.
Okay.
So we won't be worrying about finding that laying around somewhere.
And Tabbycat electing to not check Eastern Palace and instead sequence break up the mountain, just like... well, not sequence break up the mountain, but sequence break the old man. Meanwhile, say hello to our good old friend Trolldorm here.
Goodbye, Trolldorm.
Yeah, Dazed Cloud not falling for that today.
Michael's made an interesting call here. He's going to skip Hera for now and get it on his way back up. Instead, he's going to go check out what we've got on East Death Mountain.
I can understand this. Maybe you want to get a few extra power-up items for Hera, possibly get hookshot so you can Hera pot with a bit more reliability. I can understand this. But yeah, it seems like just about everybody, besides Ken, has gone up to Death Mountain so far. Although, besides the single arrow of destiny, not much going on up here. Granted, that may be a different tune when we get to Paradox Cave.
Oh yeah, 7 items in one spot, that's a lot left to be seen. Whether it's trying to tell us something, we'll know in just a moment.
But yeah, Dazed Cloud is gonna... Should be noted at 17 minutes, Dazed Cloud is the one who draws first blood here tonight.
We get our first checks of Paradox Cave, and Michael finds a Moon Pearl in the first chest.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have Dark World access. Dark World access, and quite a lot we could do with our Dark World access. We can already full clear Thieves Town and Skull Woods.
And since Village of Outcasts is your most common port of call, unless you decide to go Hype Cave first, that's probably what we'll see our runners do.
A lot more health here in the top of Paradox Cave, as well as the other green rupee that Mini Moldarm Cave just so happens to not have, as well as the Cane of Somaria. Now, here's something you don't see every day. We're already Titan's Mitts away from a potential full clearable Turtle Rock if Bamos is the key.
Unfortunately, until we see those mitts, we're not going to be able to have a look.
Cane is something, nonetheless, you do not want to be hunting for near the end of the game, as there's a lot of locations where it could still be. And I missed where Ken and Tabbycat both got their first bottles.
My guess is probably Eastern? No?
I don't think it was in Sahasrar's closet. Oh,
We
the bottle was
also
in
have
Paradox
powder
Cave,
on
okay.
Ken's screen.
Yeah, that I definitely don't remember where that came out of. Chat's saying the bottle was in Ice Rod Cave, okay. Unfortunately, Ice Rod Cave not really delivering the goods, neither is the Magic Bat. But yes, 20 minutes in, Daze Cloud is our first runner to the Dark World. Still a surprisingly large amount of... I am very concerned about Tabby Cat's Ruby count, by the way.
I just try not to look at it. There, that fixes it for us.
Oh, thank goodness.
All
big
better.
20.
All better.
I never thought I'd be happier to see a big 20.
I mean, heck, it could have just been the green rupee of destiny. That'd been fine too.
Not much going on here for the moment in the Village of Outcasts, but 4 items in Thieves Town, right for the taking. First off, we get another medallion, our Ether Medallion. Tabby Cat almost getting troll dormed right off the bat here.
Already 2 items in the front of Thieves Town. A pretty good start here. Of course, the big key will be in one of the next 2 chests guaranteed, or else you can't go anywhere else in the dungeon.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure all the dungeons have to be clearable.
Beatable only daily when? Alright, so we're going to have 2 items in the back of Thieves Town.
Yeah, so not too likely we're going to have to make that minor detour down to the big chest tonight, but nevertheless, Rando can surprise. Tabby, meanwhile, had a little trouble with Moldorm, wasn't quite cooperating with her, but does eventually get that first crystal.
And Michael is hot on her heels with Ken about to go up the mountain himself.
Yeah, so Ken's going to be a little bit behind getting Dark World access, but we'll see how the later game routing decides to change things. Unfortunately, besides Thieves Town and Skull Woods, there really isn't that much else we could do at the moment. Besides the overworld checks.
Yeah, and a lot of the overworld checks we have to look at are pretty accessible. The hammer gives you a good chunk of the Dark World to look through if you decide to loop down south into the Hype Cave area and then back towards Pod.
We can also check K45 and Graveyard Ledge, courtesy of the early mirror. And with the cape in tow from Paradox Cave, we do also have Bumper Ledge access. I'm not crazy, right? The cape was in Paradox Cave, am I off?
I think so.
I want to say it was up on Death Mountain at least. Oh no, it was in Waterfall Ferry. I take that back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Daze Cloud didn't water walk, I should say, to get that, so...
So if there
Granted.
is an item, then we know it's logically locked by having flippers.
Indeed. And flippers are going to have to show up eventually, since Swamp is a crystal tonight.
Michael going for Spike Cave early here.
I like this play just because you have just enough health, you've got boots and cape, you should just about make it.
And if all else fails, I'm pretty sure the Waterfall Fairy was giving out red potions. But he gets through and finds 10 arrows for all that trouble.
Not much going on there, unfortunately. I did not see what was in the Thieves Town big chest. Let me check my playback on that real quick. And it was bombs. I think Blind has our last item, but I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Pretty sure Blind has to have the compass here.
Okay.
Because our first couple items were in the front, and there was a shield in the attic.
Okay. So yeah, this is the compass.
So Tabby Cat and Michael both making the Hype Cave play.
And plenty of items to check here, and given that Thieves Town hasn't had much, if Skull Woods doesn't have anything, this is pretty much down to the last desirable spot to find progression. Will Hype Cave live up to its name? Answer... maybe. Heart Piece, Book of Medora. Book is nice. We now have access to both tablets and a full clearable desert. I would say that's moderately hype. Nothing earth-shattering. I'm saying that specifically because there's no Quake Medallion in there.
Yet to be seen whether those tablet checks will be useful later as well. Well, I say that as Tabby's actually going with Michael to check Bombo since, you know, we're right here.
Yeah, the nice thing about picking up Book with Skull Woods being a crystal and having Mirror and Fire Rod already is not only can you full clear it, route it in with a ped check, my favorite post Skull Woods activity. Bombos tablet, unfortunately, only giving us some bomb. Not bombos, bomb.
Alright, we're going to see them both take this loop backwards towards Dig Game and get your K45 and Stumpy checks out of the way as well.
Yeah, these are checks you really don't want to leave behind if you don't have Mirror first, but luckily they both have Mirror, but Stumpy giving us his bow and arrow.
And that is mighty important moving forward here.
Possibly not. Eastern and Pot are both pendants. So the bow isn't really going to come into extreme play until possibly GT. It's not too often you have this scenario either. We still haven't even seen a lamp, so those two dungeons aren't even full clearable yet.
Eastern would be full clearable depending on the location of the big key, because we do have a fire rod.
That is very true. With the A Link to the Past Randomizer version 31 logic update, fire rod is a valid light source for rooms with torches, and the path to Armos Knights could potentially be does fall under that category, I should say. That looked like about 20 digs for more bombs. 21 digs, it looks like.
This Montula fight, a little bit longer, but a little bit easier with sword beams. Unfortunately, the spike takes that away from us here. But Daze Cloud is going to use a little combination of the Master Sword and the Fire Rod to do a quick dispatch of Moth here.
Yeah, is that a magic? But Moth, I don't think, has more than 1 or 2 swings left.
And Tabby making her way into Desert with that book.
Yeah, I understand the reasoning behind Tabby's route here is that you have the ability to full clear a couple of crystal dungeons. You might as well full clear those. See if you happen to get the good progression along the way. If you can skip your pendant dungeons, then lucky.
So Ken didn't exactly have a lot of fun with Trolldorm, but dispatched he is, and that's all 4 of our runners on stream. Now done with Hera.
Yeah, Ken will be getting that Moon Pearl soon, and Desert Palace is boots locked. Not that that really matters, since we had these things from the minute we stepped out of Link's house, but does mean that... you first.
Say, Daze Cloud opting not to do a pedestal check on our way out.
Daze Cloud does not have the book yet.
Ah, that's true.
He's missing it from Hype Cave. Decided to go top left and then go down and around.
He also did decide to do Desert from back to front, which is usually the more friendly routing if Mothula happens to have either the big key or an item.
Yeah, and I think we are still 1 item short here in Skull Woods, that heart container only being the first.
And we won't find it there.
Might be the pinball room, as that can have an item now in version 31.
So there's our second shield on Tabby's screen at the Big Key Chester Desert.
Alright, 2 shields, not really anything to write home about at this point, and there's our Titan's Mitts in Skull Woods.
Now that is worth at least 1,000 words, or 1,000 rocks, take your pick.
Well, the nice thing about where that is given the routes that our runners have been taking, especially in Michael and Tabby's case, where they're going to probably route south to west for Dark World, eventually clear Skull Woods and Thieves Town, they're not going to have any reason to miss out on those Titan's Mitts.
It does give Daze Cloud a few other things he can do as well. He can now do the entire Smith chain without any interruption, and he's probably going to be the first runner to make it all the way up to Dark Death Mountain as well, and see whether or not that Turtle Rock is looking for one of the 2 battalions we happen to already have.
Yeah, remember what I was saying earlier about 15-minute King's Tomb? It's not exactly 15 minutes, but still a relatively early King's Tomb check as well here. But yeah, potentially a 35-minute Turtle Rock eligibility is not something you see every day. I mean, granted, we do have a casual boot seed, which does give our runners a bit of an edge up to begin with, but even still. We are not actually looking for that much. We are looking for flippers. Oh, there's our 4th sword. We are looking for flippers and flippers and hookshot, I think. That's actually about it. And by
To
logic,
finish,
the lamp. And by logic, the lamp, of course. But to these runners, logic would be merely a suggestion. And Daze Cloud following those mitts to go to Mire early. This also makes a lot of sense. It's a there's a lot of stuff you could do here as well as Full Clear Desert. And I missed what the medallion was for Mire.
I'm pretty sure it was Ether, and we already knew that the Ether is in Daze Cloud's pocket, but no other runner has picked it up yet.
And indeed, yeah, I just checked on my playback, it is Ether, so Daze Cloud could dip in and illogically full clear Mire. I say illogically because, again, still need Lamp, but yeah, most of Mire, though, he could clear. Really, the only thing he can't check is Vidi. And given that Mire is a pendant anyway, if the 2 items show up early, might as well just get it out of the way. Get your pedestal hype in chat. Michael's checking the ped for us. Have a better defense in front of you. It is our 3rd shield.
I don't think we'll be picking that up, do you?
Nope, especially since most of these runners already have Cape, they're not going to have an issue with Laser Bridge. And Flippers have to show up eventually, so safe bet that Cape is going to be in logic before Laser Bridge becomes a factor. Alright, Tabby Cat and Michael both venturing through the Skull Woods dive. Michael actually went to check the ped first and... or no, he killed Moth. Went straight to Moth and then checked the ped. Okay. Never mind. Tabby, meanwhile, looks to be doing the full loop from bottom to top.
Alright, we're going to see Daze Cloud make easy work out of Desert Palace here as well.
Yeah, interesting that 35 minutes in, we already are only down to about 2 items for, 2, possibly 3 items for go mode here. So, the interesting thing about this is there's a lot of places where those items can be. Especially with mitts in tow, we now have Dark Death Mountain access. With our current equipment, we can go into Turtle Rock.
And a beautiful 2-cycle Lamulus from Daze Cloud.
gets it done fairly quickly, courtesy of that fire rod. Tabby Cat just being a little more cautious to get some extra health on the way to Mothula. Understandable, since Mothula can be quite an annoying fight if you're not prepared. Or if Mothula decides to just not be nice. I noticed Tabby Cat being deliberately conservative with her magic as well. Trying to avoid burning the Gibdos. But with that extra key, at least she'll be able to swing right into the back without killing another Gibdo. And has 6 shots with the fire rod going into the moth fight, which will deal little more than half of his health. Mike about to pick that that butter sword out of King's Tomb. Ken has mirrored in front of Kakariko. This might be a... I'm not sure what this is. He might be conserving... Yeah, I'm not sure why Ken mirrored there. Unless he just wanted to check Dig Game and then go route that in with Thieves Town and Skull Woods.
I think he's just looking to get back into CAC so he can take the portal into Village of Outcasts.
Oh, that makes sense, actually, because you need Titan's Mitts to get from Dig Game to Thieves Town. And he doesn't have those yet, so yeah, that makes a lot of sense, actually. I'm not used to seeing that be a limitation. Usually everybody flutes to CAC or already has done Thieves Town by now.
Days Cloud giving us the reason why we call it Fart Cave.
Tabby Cat about to see the news that it's a shield on the pedestal.
And here comes Ken making his dive into Skullwoods.
So Ken's gonna pick up, Tabby Cat and Ken both likely gonna pick up their Titan's Mitts, roughly close to each other.
Hey, Days Cloud is going to make use of that Bombos medallion, it looked like, for a moment, and then decided not to.
I think it was thinking about dipping Pendant Mire, but then decided against it. It is only 2 items, so it's not really the most lucrative check that could be made, given that pretty much the entirety of Dark Death Mountain is wide open, minus the 3 checks of Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, I like this play better. You go up the mountain, you have a few things you can look at, get your information on whether or not you need Turtle Rock to have Quake to get in.
Yeah, throw in the Ether Tablet check while you're at it.
Well, Days still has not gotten to Hype Cave.
Oh, yeah.
Which sometimes leaves us in misery, rather.
That is very true.
Yeah, so this is an interesting call here.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised Days hasn't gone down to Hype Cave to do the mirror checks yet, given the circumstances.
I mean, to be fair, he could route it in with Smith Chain later on if he so chooses.
Very true. We have Mitts and Mirror, so... And with Powder lying about somewhere too, Days could just route the whole sweep in, but we do need Days Cloud not...
There is the anger.
Yeah,
Shout outs to vanilla requirements.
Yeah, I think you really wanted to go in there, because again, it's a fairly... It's not full clearable without Lamp, but it is still a very lucrative dungeon, even out of logic. That jellyfish is in a really bad spot. I was gonna laugh if that was Quake.
It could still be in Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, Key Under the Mat would be, would also be something Days Cloud would like to see right about now. It gets a health refill, but unfortunately, nothing we're looking for in this neck of the woods. Sorry, we're nowhere near Skullwoods, this face of the mountain.
Yeah, well, Ken's in Skullwoods, and he'll be working his way out of the woods here in just a short moment.
Yeah, it looks like all of our runners ended up coming back for Titan's Mitts on their second voyage around Skull Woods.
Barry is giving Michael a hard time leaving the big chest of Thieves Town.
Michael's still doing pretty solid on health, so we'll be able to should be able to take down Blind without much difficulty. Days Cloud about to get that book, and really wish he could go check that ether tablet about 3 minutes ago. Yeah, we are running out of overworld and various other checks at this point. Trying to think. Quake could be virtually anywhere, but Flippers and Flippers has to be somewhere outside Swamp Palace. Or outside Ice Palace. And Hookshot could be everywhere, all of the above mentioned previously, except including Left Side Swamp. Chad also points out Catfish, which we have not seen, or Pyramid for that matter.
I'd be willing to wager that Days Cloud is going to go ahead and get Smith Chain out of the way first, especially having done already Hype K, Bombo's Tablet, Stumpy, and K45. Just pick up Jeremiah, drop him off, get the purple chest, and then Mirror and Flute to 7. There you go.
Quite possibly. I would still quite laugh if it does turn out to be Quake on Ether Tablet.
I would feel bad, honestly.
Yeah, you hate to see it as a runner, but you love to see it as a viewer. Oh, it was 19 digs for bombs. I thought it was 21. Ah, well.
Alright, so we'll have our first look at what these other few checks we have here have for us. Get to do our Hammerpeg Cave, drop off the Smith, and pick up Gary's lunchbox.
Yeah, so these are 3 fairly quick checks we can make at this point, all of which could have something we're looking for. Days Cloud nailing all of the item dashes. And just a giant hoard of rupees. I believe that's the 3rd we've seen. And we would like to take the time to welcome the folks coming in from Speed Gaming 3. You are joining us on the Friday night A Link to the Past Randomizer daily race. We've got casual boots, so our runner started off with a sword and boots. And I picked up a whole lot more in the last 40 minutes. We're already not looking for much. We're looking for Quake Medallion, Flippers, and Hookshot. That's it. And Lamp, by logic, but again, these runners don't care about logic pretty much.
Days Cloud is going to show us what happens if you happen to leave the chest behind in the Dark World, but not despawn it entirely.
Yeah, this I like to call this the Phantom Chest glitch. Where Days Cloud will mirror within a somewhat precise position around Gary here, and we'll be able to pick up the lunchbox item, no problem. And 3, 2, 1, extra money get. Now the question is going to be, where is Daze Cloud going to go to next? With the bow in tow, we can... I just realized what I said. With the bow, we could... if the big key is not vanilla, we could get the green pendant out of Eastern.
You can also see our runners make a dive at Palace of Darkness, also a pendant, but considerably more item-rich.
Indeed. Dazed getting that bottle out of Ice Rod Cave. Tabby Cat's on blind. Michael's about to go fight Landmolus, and Ken is in Village of Outcasts. Everybody is everywhere else.
And now Daze Cloud will get these checks out of the way with a water walk.
Looks like he decided to skip out on the bridge guy and decided to go straight to Zora Ledge. Which we know this is going to net him his cape. And he might start thinking about Bumper Ledge pretty soon. I don't think we've seen Bumper Ledge. And if we have, I missed it.
I thought Daze Cloud checked it before they went over to the Graveyard Ledge, but I could be wrong. And one of our trackers, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna, letting us know it was bombs, so we will not be seeing our runners pick that up.
Nope.
Yeah, big shout-outs to our trackers tonight, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna and Tau Decay. Keep an eye on 4 runners, which is a lot harder than it sounds.
Indeed. And it looks like Daze Cloud's going back to the mountain. It looks like he's going for Ether Tablet. He really... Oh, never mind. I thought it was going to go for Ether Tablet, but it looks like instead he's going to go to Pod. This actually makes a lot of sense. If Pod ends up being dead, you can just go ahead and mirror do Eastern. And I do not believe Daze Cloud has been to the Hospital's Closet yet, which granted only has a ton of money.
Or, in the case of Daze Cloud, probably a ton more sword swipes, because you already got 754 rupees.
Yeah, that's not going to do any good at this point. Oh, Michael has fake flipper to Ice Palace. This I was not expecting.
So this is down the logic. We know we're not going to find flippers here, but what if this has our Quake?
Quake or potentially Hookshot. And yep, Sahasrara got a slash. Oh, that's a shovel in Ice Palace. Alright, well, guess we're doing a fetch quest. That's now 2 out of 3 fetch quests checked. Yeah, we checked powder, we checked, we've got powder, we can check shovel, we still haven't gotten mushroom.
Ice Palace is full of fetching quests for us tonight.
I swear I didn't do that on purpose.
You can swear it as much as you want, but it's just part of the business, Captain.
Yes it is. Oh, Palace of Darkness is bow locked. Early big key. Now that is the second item in Ice Palace, so there's one more left to pick up. Tabby Cat has also fake flipper to ice.
See, this is something I like. I'd probably do it too, but I don't know if I would do it this early.
Well, in terms of equipment, especially thanks to Icebreaker Glitch, there is a lot you can do in here. And heck, with our equipment, we could even take down Cold Stare. So I can understand wanting to do this real quick for essentially a almost free crystal. And I think our last item is on Cold Stare.
It is sure looking the part here, and Michael's about to give us a look at what that item will be.
Yeah, with 9.5 hearts, full magic, and blue mail, this shouldn't be too hard of a fight. Not to mention tempered sword. And a very good cornering.
Oh, Coldsteer had no idea what he was getting himself into. It's down he goes. And that third item is either at large or we already saw it.
It might have been an iced tea. Because the one thing about the ice group glitch is the only thing that can't be routed particularly efficiently is iced tea. And both of our runners, by the way, have pulled that glitch off. Both of our Ice Palace sequence breakers have pulled that off fairly smoothly, I should point out. But looks like Mike might be leaving Ice Tea behind.
Yes, logically with that key on Coldsteer, it would say this dungeon is locked by Heavy Cane of Samaria based on where the keys showed up. And there's Quake in the Dark Maze. That gives you a little information right there.
Oh my.
This isn't Dark Maze, it's U-Room, actually. So that's in logic, actually.
In the Dark Maze, yes, we only need the Fire Rod for that.
Well, the Dark Maze is dark.
Yeah, but the Dark U-Room only needs Fire Rod. Dark Maze, I think, still needs Lamp.
It does indeed. The only flames you see in here are the ones the Kadondos are leaving out there.
Yeah, we get a bottle of blue goo from the Dark Maze, though, so a bottle of blue goo especially, that's going to definitely do Days Cloud a favor or two later down the road. And the map.
Tabby Cat also successfully taking out her Coldsteer. No problem. And there's your hook shot. And that is telling us something for real this time.
Yeah, now that big chest, correct me if I'm wrong, since Dark Maze needs Lamp, is out of logic, correct?
That is correct. Until we find a lamp, that hook shot is out of sequence.
Interesting. I imagine, regardless, Days Cloud is going to go ahead and take this all the way to Total Rock, even though we know for a fact... Actually, as long as the lamp is not behind flippers, we could have flippers in Total Rock. Unfortunately, Days Cloud got dead rocked. And he's deciding, nope, we're just going to Quake the guy. Which apparently didn't work for some reason. That's interesting.
We see Ken has taken out Blind on his side of the screen, and it'll be interesting to see where he decides to go next. So what could Days Cloud hope to be finding behind this hookshot in Hookshot Cave?
I'm trying to think. It won't be Lamp. I don't think it's going to be Lamp or... It could still be Flippers, again, if the Flippers are not Lamp-locked. Which, if that is the case, that would put Days Cloud in Go mode. I also completely missed what was on the Ether tablet. Oh,
It was our red boomerang.
Okay, so at least our runners are going to finish this game with at least one boomerang. Now, Tabby Cat's going to get the bad news that she is a medallion short for Turtle Rock as well. And unfortunately, a pendant pod dip is required.
See,
Yeah.
I knew that Bo had to be telling us something.
Sure did, especially since Pod was bow locked tonight.
So we know one thing. Lamp cannot be in Turtle Rock. Oh, yeah,
Lamp?
yes it can. Excuse me.
Lamp could be. Lamp could be. Yeah, there's a lot of ambiguity to this one.
Get my fire rod crossed in my head. You know, in theory, you could find the both, actually.
Yes, you could. Especially if we find... Well, there's the lamp. So...
Instantly.
So now Dazed Cloud is back in logic. So now Flippers could be literally anywhere not Flipper's Lock. That's about it.
And Flippers being the only item we strictly need to complete the game at this point.
Oh, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna's right. Pod is a forced double dip by logic. You have to come back here with Quake to get Lamp, and then go back to get Hookshot. Oh my.
This is part of why we say logic is a suggestion.
Yeah, Dazed Cloud's gonna be really happy with not having to double dip Pod here.
We saw Michael show his disdain for the symbol on the ground in front of Turtle Rock. And now we could see Dazed Cloud, after finishing here, go straight to Hookshot Cave. And if that has Flippers, we're talking about being done real fast.
You're not kidding. You would be able to go mode ice, go mode swamp, literally the dictionary definition of fast dungeons. Oh, I wasn't aware Sheik was in this game. No, I'm kidding.
And Tabby Cat's going to show us a little fake powder because they have not yet found the magic powder. So far, the only runner that did was Ken.
Interesting. Yeah, fake powder, how this works is by highlighting the mushroom and then trying to use the, using the cane and then highlighting the mushroom, the game essentially thinks you're trying to use magic powder. Michael is going to show us that shovel check real quick here. And it's a really dirty shirt. I'm not sure you should be wearing that.
I'd be a little worried about how red it is underground like that.
Yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah, you might want to take a dip in Lake Hylia to go wash that off real quick, Michael.
Dazed Cloud with a check of Mimic Cave. This has 10 arrows.
No good. And it looks like Tabby Cat is also going to show us what is on the mushroom. And it's money. So still, besides that lamp, which does answer a few questions at the very least, not much else going on here in Turtle Rock. Then again, we haven't gotten to Laser Bridge yet.
Yeah, I'd say hold your breath. I don't remember how many dungeon items we've seen yet either, but you're going to see at least an item on Laser Bridge, I would think.
Yeah, there's another bottle. Which I think that is our third bottle.
It is indeed. Actually, no. I think it's our fourth.
Trying to remember where the other bottle was, because I know there's one with Blue Goo and Pod. There's this one. There's the Beat Dorp in in Waterfall Fairy. Where was the fourth one?
Ice Rod Cave was our first logical bottle.
Ice Rod Cave, that's right.
There's the map and compass, so we have a key and an item, and then an item on Trinex.
Oh boy. Well, this hard hat Pete'll giving Dazed Cloud a bit of a hard time. Dazed Cloud run a little low on health. May wish to consider taking the safety door soon. Or use the
Looks
cape,
like-
that works too.
Yep, Kate getting put to good use here. The powder for Tabby Cat from our friend under the bridge. Lamulus on Ken's screen.
That's where that
And-
was.
Yep. Out of everyone that did the water walk or a fake flipper of any kind, Ken was the only person to pick that item up. Everyone else has left the location behind.
Indeed, although we know tonight it's not particularly important, but still a very interesting choice. It does seem that at this point our routers are sort of getting railroaded here to go to pod. Although there are a couple of other checks they could have done. They could go to Eastern, but with Mirror and Bow, it just makes it so much more desirable to route both of those in. I thought Tabby Cat was going to pod.
Oh, there's our fourth bottle. It's in U room.
That's where it is, okay.
That also tells us that Dazed Cloud has a fairy in his pocket to boot.
Ooh, yeah, that's pretty important. Now, is Trinexar Go mode? Answer? No. So where does that leave us? That leaves us Meyer, Eastern. We've seen pretty much everything in Ice except Ice-T, I think.
And Dazed Cloud has the hookshot. He has not gone back to Hookshot Cave yet, and that's where he is going.
Oh, that's a blue cane, but still not the blue item we're looking for.
So
That's
we
also
know it's
nice.
not on the mountain.
Yeah, Half Magic is also really nice to have, though, to be fair, especially since we may be looking at a silverless Ganon here. Yep, Dazed Cloud still missing out on those flippers, really wants to get to GT. So, Michael decided to nope out a pod early.
Michael following the logic, and he's going to get a lamp in the front of TR and probably, I would say, drop a bomb or two.
Yeah.
And we have Ken making a look into Eastern Palace here. Alongside Tabby Cat, these are checks we don't know about yet.
Yeah, potentially 3 perfectly in-logic items as far as we now know. Not to mention the green pendant adding a 4th one. And an early big key, so Armos could have been reachable without Lamp.
Of course, this is way up the logic chain, so the chances of flippers being here could have changed the entire outlook of the seed as we know it.
Indeed. Let's see where Dazed Cloud decides to go next. Looks like he's going to check Pyramid Fairy. Now that would be an evil spot for flippers, for sure.
And that's one thing we kind of lost track of. 5-6 being on Thieves Town and Turtle Rock, very early were both of these dungeons available to us, based on where all of our items came into play.
Indeed. And I think we've still not seen the Pyramid or Catfish yet, so Dazed Cloud's probably going to check both of those alongside. Nice hookshot dash to keep the bomb with him. Only some cash on the Pyramid Ledge. I think Dazed Cloud wanted to just triple check and see if it was fast Ganon or not, but it is not. It is defeat Ganon for this seed.
Alright, Tabby Cat giving us a look at the item in the Eastern Palace Big Key Chest, which we know would be in logic with the location of the lamp, but as early as we were talking about it earlier, would not have been just a piece of heart.
And only has the compass, so I think this does place the map on Armos Knights.
There is one other thing, though.
The green pendant. And which I would wager will be an almost immediate turn in here.
Here's our first look at Catfish. Catfish, have you been hanging out with Zora? Decidedly.
Yes! Same reward. Ooh, Michael just got bullied by the chain chomps. Those ate a lot of his health.
There's a reason we consider that the worst room in the game. Even with red mail, those chain chomps hurt.
Yeah, I think they still do... Is it 2 hearts on red mail, or is it 4? I can't remember.
I don't know. I wanted to say 3.
They hurt, for sure.
But it might be 2. It's red mail, doesn't matter.
And Tabby Cat has not turned in the green pendant yet. Has decided to go straight to pod first, which is going to work out because this is going to get her the Quake Medallion and the hook shot.
And I think if I saw it correctly, Ken left a portal right on the stairs leading up to Eastern as well, so he's probably thinking the same exact route.
Most likely.
I'm telling you one thing, that green pendant is starting to feel really good now.
It sure is, because as far as remaining checks left, the only other checks we have is, we've seen Hookshot Cave now, so it's down to... It's really just down to Meyer and, Helmasaur King, and the green pendant.
Oh, and Ken decided to skip his portal and get 10 arrows from the green pendant, so are we thinking Meyer?
I think we might be looking at a dip into Pendant Meyer here. Because I can't think of any good spots where those flippers could be at this point.
There is never any particular circumstance where Pendant Meyer is an attractive play, but sometimes it's the only play you have left.
Oh, and actually, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna points out we've seen all the items in pod. So actually, yeah, Helmasaur is off the table. So yeah, I think we are actually down to Meyer. We might, I'm still trying to remember if either of our runners checked Iced Tea.
Ooh, we do have Iced Tea. Both of them did not flip the switch and only had the one key going down to Cold Stare. Considering how early Meyer was available in the logic chain, though, that's probably where I would go first.
Yeah, Daze Cloud, it's unfortunate too, because Daze Cloud, and a few runners for that matter, had the chance to go and get that, to go and dip Meyer early.
And our folks in chat reminding us, flippers can't be in Ice Palace.
Right.
So it has to be in Meyer.
So it is. Now, what's going to be even worse is if it's on Vidi. Because it's going to make that lamp in Turtle Rock and that double dip of pod even more annoying. Alright, one boss fight ends, another is about to begin, as Michael will go fight Trinex, as Days Cloud just finishes off the Armos Knights.
And Tabby Cat working her way through the maze here. Nothing but a sword to guide her way. And a couple flames from the Kodondos, of course.
And, it is at this time that I would advise the hospital to seek shelter.
You know, when you give the runner arrows for a bow that's in their pocket, I would run as fast as you can.
Get case in point.
What travels faster, a sword beam or an arrow?
I think a sword beam.
Oh, then he's screwed.
But yeah, we're down, ladies and gentlemen, to Pendant Mire, which Days Cloud is heading in that direction, so here we go. So yeah, 2 out of 3 Pendant dungeons required this evening.
It makes you wonder why they call this mode Casual Boots.
Yeah, for casual boots, certainly a lot of back and forth here. The double dip of pod sure doesn't help. Now, if we get the flippers in the first chest, can we still call it a Godmire? I think
Considering you don't want to have to finish it, yeah, I'll give us that one.
Want to stop you for a second. Tabby Cat got Dead Rock within Dead Rocked. It was like literally stuck in all directions. She was literally stuck in all directions.
That's not something you see every day.
Yeah, that was weird.
So every check here in Mire is a moment of truth. Where are our flippers?
Aww.
Oh, come on now. That is the worst tease.
And here I was thinking it would be a Godmire. Nope,
The seed is telling us something. It
All
doesn't
right.
like us very much.
I think it might be fire locked here in Misery Mire.
Do you have any choice words you would say if it shows up to be on Vitreous?
I would say Run Ganon.
So now it becomes a race to see what turns up first, the big key or the second item.
Yeah, because actually, we're going to have a bit of a moment of truth in here, because if this is not an item, then the next item has to be Big Key. So yeah, this next item has to be Vanilla Big Key, so we're down to Big Chest and Viddy. That's not a pleasant combo.
There's a reason they call it Misery Mire.
Yeah, and it's living up to its name this time around. Basically a last location go mode item, and you have to go all the way around the dungeon to find it.
Oh. The big key is next to the big chest.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that chest.
It's what I like to call the trendy last location of the big key.
The trendy last location.
Because for as many times as I found it there, it's usually the last place you hope to find it.
Pretty much.
So we're going to pick this up, and I would imagine he's going to drop right down and make sure that item's not in the big chest.
Yeah, if not, it's gotta be Vitreous, because, yeah, I literally can't think of any other spot where it could be.
Oh no!
Welp, it's gonna be oops all bosses minus Aga 1 for Days Cloud. And for that matter, it looks like it's gonna be oops all bosses for pretty much everybody. Because Michael's going into Eastern too.
Well, at the very least, you got one thing going on here. You get to go mode, two of the fastest dungeons to go mode in the entire game.
That is true. Michael and Tabby Cat both did not have that luxury. Will not have this luxury moving forward. And Fire Shield coming into good use there for Days Cloud, saving him from a Firebolt. Oh yeah, we never killed Helmosaur King either. So yeah, never mind. Not oops all bosses. Seeing some spooky action from Days Cloud as well. Not a particularly common occurrence you see in these days. Makes mincemeat out of this room, though.
Now, unfortunately, our third shield is on the pedestal, so we will not be seeing our runners pull that tonight.
Nope. Days Cloud deciding to do Pegasus Boots dash strats here with Cape. That actually worked out really well.
And with Vitreous down, we have a pair of swim toes.
And that does put Days Cloud in go mode at 1:17:15. And now it's just a matter of go moding 2 really fast dungeons. Oh, what a mess this one was.
And still could be, depending on where the Ganon's Tower Big Key lands.
Oh, yeah. At the very least, we can check out all 22 chests. None of this 21-22 nonsense.
And it won't be long before Ken and Tabby Cat get the same bad news that Days Cloud got, that they're going to need to go into Mire. And the same for Michael, as he's about to face off with Armos Knights as well.
Yeah, this has just been and again, it's just so unfortunate that Mire was accessible really early, with the exception of the lamp kerfuffle. So if they had chosen to sequence break Mire, this scene would have gone a lot faster.
We could talk about being done.
Yeah, and Days Cloud was in the neighborhood for sure. But I guess it really just depends on how comfortable you are doing the dark rooms. And to be fair, Mire was still not looking like the bullseye for the moment because of how much more there was still to check.
Yeah, all things considered, the scene was pretty open from the get-go. As soon as we had that less than 20-minute Dark World access, Mire wasn't exactly on the table yet.
Indeed. Ooh, Michael getting royally thrown off position here with the Armos Knight, so it's gonna have to take him down the hard way. He's actually almost out of arrows, but he somehow manages to get the quick kill on the last knight. Nicely done. Nice recovery. Right,
Laser Bridge for Tabby Cat.
Ken, meanwhile, has just picked up that lamp. And yeah, Days Cloud just going to pick up that key, zip right on down to the back. I would wager Dazed might check a couple more chests, keeping an eye out for silvers if they happen to be luckily found. Luckily,
At the
Ganon
very
won't...
least...
Luckily...
Say, at the very least, you're going to pick up these two. All night, my friend, all night.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries, no worries. It's part of the business.
But yeah, at the very least, Ganon won't be calling anybody a dingus for not having a bow.
So what we see Daze Cloud setting up for something we call Diver Down, which will allow you to walk through the floor here, just so.
Yeah, this
If you can walk on water, you can check those real fast.
Yeah, this lets you water walk in Swamp Palace, which not only lets you check those two chests fast, but it allows you to pick up the flooded key, the floodable key in Left Side Swamp, thereby making it a lot more efficient to route. Try next
Michael...
down for...
Yep, try next down for Tabby. She's got her bad news in line, and Michael has already made his way into Mire.
Yeah, unfortunately, we know it's the long road to Vitreous to get those flippers. Ooh, decides to go with Ice Rod strats.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen anyone do just Ice Rod on Argus before.
Yeah, Ice Rod is not a bad tool. It can be fired certainly a lot more frequently. But now it's down to just a quick walk and swim over to ice, and this seed will be over before you know it. I am curious to know where the silvers were hiding, though. Ganon will tell us.
They could still be in Ganon's tower, too.
Very true.
But my bet's on left side of Swamp.
Ooh, that'd be not nice. Especially since you pretty much... the seed was basically built for Go Mode Swamp. Ooh, Daze Cloud deciding to get a quick arrow refill from the ferry here. And now you're going to get to see Go Mode Ice Palace from Daze Cloud.
Yeah, this is a very quick affair here. Basically, if you flip a switch when you do Icebreaker, you just drop all the way down.
Yeah, it's just amazing how much Icebreaker has changed this dungeon and made it so more efficient to route. Because as we mentioned before, the only thing that's really not the most cooperative thing in Ice now is Iced Tea, thanks to this glitch.
And Tabby Cat's going to get her second set of 300 rupees from the dark version of Zora.
Yeah, doubt Daze Cloud's gonna do anything with that shovel at this point.
See, Daze Cloud is still making his checks as he goes through, probably looking for silver arrows here.
I wouldn't be surprised at this. Even with Tempered Sword and half magic, you would still like to not do Silverless Ganon if you can help it. Although, hilariously, Days Cloud is finding literally everything that could be not the silvers that could still be on the tracker.
And that does satisfy the question we had earlier about the item in Iced Tea. It has to be either a dungeon item or a key at this point, because that was items 1, 2, 3 going down the right side.
That's true. So yeah, with all the dungeons basically full cleared minus swamp, yeah, there's not a lot of places silvers could be. Besides, yeah, left side swamp or GT. Ken is oh, he's going back to his portal, okay.
Yeah, Ken's out of magic, so Laser Bridge is not treating him very well here.
Indeed, and with Sankard already picked up, Sankard being vanilla, that was picked up way earlier.
So that was the last item he can find on Laser Bridge that we know, as the other 3 items are a key and the 2 dungeon map and compass.
With this, Days Cloud has killed Cold Stare and picked up the 7th crystal, so ladies and gentlemen, we would like to inform you that there are 22 locations in the basement of Ganon's Tower, 21 chests and 1 torch. Go ahead and get your integer guesses in between 1 and 22 where you think that big key might be hiding tonight.
Along with that, Michael has dispatched Vitreous. Now he's got his water toes, and he only has Swamp Palace to go before he joins Days Cloud on the mountain.
Yeah, with a full dungeon behind, though, I imagine even unfortunate key placement will still keep Days Cloud fairly ahead for the time being. There could still be a pitfall disaster on Ganon, so it could still the race could still swing short notice here. Although Michael is going towards Bridge Guy.
So for Michael, this is going to give him another check that he hasn't done yet if he did not previously fake powder.
Oh, you know what this is? Michael noped out of pod before picking up Hookshot. So he doesn't realize pod's a double dip. He's following the logic here, which unfortunately means he has to go back. Which is, suffice to say, severe oof.
Yeah, because now he's going to chase the powder down, and whatever else he's left lying around that he hasn't checked yet, that's going to take a lot of time to go back to.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are going to cut off the GT guesses now.
It's always fun to see how different runners decide to tackle Ganon's Tower, too. So let's see what Days Cloud has for us today.
Oh, well, okay.
Put that to bed right away, huh?
Indeed, first chest. Well, that was the quickest GT big key guessing game we've ever had. At least I have. And nobody guessed 1. Y'all thought it was going to be hidden away.
I see a 3, and that comes from Diagonal Runabout.
No, that is technically the closest one. Unfortunately, you all went over.
Yeah, that's what happens when you say $1. Well, no, wait, that's the other way around now, isn't it?
But yeah, this is going to be a pretty quick GT climb for Days Cloud.
Little bit of an oof for Ken as Trinex gives him a little swipe with the firehead. Luckily, he's picked up a fairy or two. No, he had the fairy bottle, excuse me.
Indeed, yeah. Ken is also still only running on Master Sword. Hasn't picked up either of the other two swords from Zorledge or, where was that other sword? It was in some place for King's Tomb. About to say, it was someplace nice.
Oh yeah, King's Tomb is a little bit out of the way unless you prioritize checking it the instant you get your mitts.
Yeah, which, to be fair, the mitts were right next door.
That is true. They were in the front of Skull Woods, so it's not out of the question to have seen it.
And Ken's deciding he's just going to try and use the cape to finish off Trinex here, although, Master Sword still requires quite a number of swipes.
And we saw Daze Cloud with a gold B on the screen, giving the first couple rooms of Gauntlet a little something something.
Yeah, using the, I believe that was the, Ice Rod Cave B. So he kept that and put it to very good use. Gets a 2-cycle on Lamolus 2, gonna go out and face Trolldorm 2.
But first, some of the most satisfying uses of the Cane of Samaria in the entire game that aren't glitches.
Indeed. Alright, we'll see if Michael decides to check left side Swamp here. He's checking the rest of Swamp, and we're seeing that that's where the swag net was hiding.
So this will tell us whether or not our silvers are in Swamp Palace or hiding out in Ganon's Tower.
And if
Of course,
they are
Ganon
hiding
would
out,
tell that anyway.
yeah, it's... Given how many checks are left, probably GT. But then again, Rando could surprise, as it has done all the time. Unfortunately, it looks like Michael did not do Diver Down to skip the flooded key and is deciding to go and do this the old-fashioned way. Daze Cloud at least trying to check a couple of the final chests up here in GT for... see if we can get a lucky GT, a lucky silvers, or maybe another heart container. And
Those
that's
aren't
like...
the arrows we're looking for.
These are not the arrows you're looking for.
Chat pointing out, this is an 18 heart seed. You know it's going off the rails if you have 18. Oh no.
Oh, and as Moldorm is in his death animation, that is the worst. Yeah, you can tell it's a full clear seed when our runners are going on like 15 to 18 hearts with red mail known. Moldorm was like, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you.
And Daze Cloud said, not this time.
And no silvers in the last chest.
That does mean that Daze Cloud's going to have to do a silverless Ganon with Tempered Sword. Not wholly uncomfortable, but not as quick as you'd like it to be.
No, Michael, unfortunately, he's going into left side swamp looking for hookshot, which unfortunately not gonna find.
Finds
Instead, just finds the big key.
And tells the game what he thinks of the location of the big key.
I mean, sure, the key's big enough, but look at the location. Unfortunately, Aghanim not exactly cooperating with Daze Cloud either.
Between the patterns and the blue balls, not quite as nice, but Daze Cloud dispatches Aga 2, and we're about to have a fight with the big pig.
And yeah, Daze Cloud venting extreme frustration that a casual boot seat is going to take borderline an hour and 40 minutes. And is going to be Tempered Sword Silverless to be on top of that.
Michael realizing the bad news. I gotta go back into Palace of Darkness. Oh, come on.
And Ganon's complaining about midnight snacks tonight, which I'm not going to lie, I'm probably going to get one myself when this is over. Oh! Pulled out the cape just a little too late.
Now remember, we found a fairy bottle earlier, so this isn't the worst thing for Days Cloud.
Yeah, got a lucky, the bottles have actually been providing some pretty good lucky breaks for our runners tonight. I'll see how cooperative Ganon is with his teleports tonight. Yeah,
you had to say something, didn't you?
You were getting into mildly uncooperative. We're getting into extremely uncooperative territory here. Did you find the arrows in my tower? No, but we've got almost full magic, 7 hearts, still blue mail, and a tempered sword, so have a few spins instead. 12 will do the trick here. Days Cloud being a bit smart and making sure Ganon comes down to his level before firing off the fire rod and the spin, trying to get 3 spins in per torch cycle here. Doing a very good job. I believe this is going to be his 8th spin now. Yeah,
this is a pretty clean Silverless fight for Days Cloud to this point.
Yeah, he
has not missed a triple setup yet.
Yeah, and it's only 2 more spins to go here.
Free as free gets, and that's it.
And that is the big pig dispatched for Days Cloud, barring a disaster on the 1x3 bridge here. Ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in chat for Days Cloud. And indeed, Days Cloud finishes with an official race time of 1:37.52. GG Days Cloud.
GG, and an absolutely well-executed Silverless Ganon fight. For everything the seed put us through, made it look easy in the end.
Indeed. And we are joined up in the booth by Days Cloud. Days Cloud, GG to you, and fantastic Silverless Ganon fight.
Oh, thank you there. Yeah, a little frustrating seed overall there, just kind of sitting there going like, hey, where is this stinking flippers? And sitting there for a minute going kind of like, well...
Yeah. Well, at least you're not in as bad of a mood as Michael right now, because he's just gone back to pod for the hook shot. See, he followed the logic, which was expecting a double dip.
Yeah, see, I saw that at one point, and I was just kind of going like, you know what? I'm just kind of... I got that quake, and really like, you know what? We should go. And then I'm going, you know what? There's 3 more chests. They're right next to you. Just go get them, just in case it's something you need. And sure enough, yeah, okay. It was hookshot. So that was right about then. I'm like, oh, let's take a big, deep sigh of relief here, and then everything is fine.
And then you found the lamp in TR.
Yeah, I was kind of like, oh man, I don't even get to do everything in the dark today. Come on, game, at least make it fun.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out like where could lamp and flippers be, given that we just saw hookshot in the big chest.
Yeah, like the moment I saw that the lamp was basically locked like that, and that it was requiring a double dip for that dungeon, it was just kind of like, you know what, that's just mean. That's
yeah,
just mean.
Flippers on Viddy's not much better, let's be honest.
I wasn't too mad about that. I was more mad with myself, because you got the bow so early. I'm not the bow. You got the flute so early. You got the blue, in the first chest, right? And so you're sitting like in my head the entire time. I'm going like, I think there's something in Mire. It just, you get the flute that early up, start thinking that there's something in Mire. And so like when I was in there originally, I'm getting there going like looking around, and I finished desert and then just kind of walked back and forth for a little bit, just going like, go into Mire. And then, but I had like a 66% chance of being able to get into Turtle Rock. So I'm like, no, this is silly. Don't go into Mire, go into Turtle Rock. And then I got up there and ha 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 ha.
Yeah, to be fair though, it makes more sense to check the it made more sense to go up to the mountain and check Hookshot Cave and possibly Turtle Rock, given that the item density would have been up there. Just rando decided to rando.
Yeah, that's the thing though. I mean, like sometimes item density can lead you astray. That's kind of the reason I ended up doing Eastern Palace before I did Mire, just because it was like, 4 checks versus 2. Okay.
Literally everybody did, actually. This came dangerously close to an oops all bosses seed.
Yeah, there for a second there, I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna have like this, have a ped seed or something here, because like I had checked everything. So I'm sitting there like racking my brain as I'm going through Eastern and stuff, like going, did I skip anything? Because I've done that many times. And just trying to think, what's left? There's got to be something that I'm not thinking of. And I couldn't come up with anything, so I'm going, okay, so it's either in one of the pendant dungeons or it's on Ped. That's easy enough to figure out. Let's go see which one it is. And if I ran into it, I was going to be happy, and if not, I was going to go pull Ped.
Yeah, luckily today, just a mirror shield.
Oh, is that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't seen.
Yeah, it was shield. Actually, Michael and Tabby Cat both fake flippered to ice early, so we saw that that was Fetch Quest Central earlier in the run.
Part of me thought about doing it, just because, but there wasn't really a good reason to do it until flippers kind of came into logic there. Especially since flippers are pretty much everyone's last check there. So I thought about fake flipper in it, but I didn't even mean to full clear Ice Palace. That just kind of happened. I just autopiloted for a second and killed all the pen gators in the room, and then was just kind of sitting there going, well, since I've done it, what's in this chest? And then it was the big key, and then I'm like, well, I guess I don't have to hit the switch now. Okay, I guess I'll go in. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna need a small key, so maybe I'll go find the small keys. And then I ended up, it took me until like my 5th chest in there to find the small key, which was just dumb.
Alternatively, you could have just gone to Cold Stare.
Well, I mean, I hadn't hit the switch there. So if I had tried to go to Cold Stare without it, I would have locked myself with a key there. I mean, I guess I could have run straightly to the pot room and gotten a key, but I kept expecting one of those chests to just spit out a small key, because there was 4 chests on the way, and somehow I ended up with the one Ice Palace where all 3 items were on the right, so I didn't get a small key that I needed to open up the other door.
Yeah, we were kind of saying earlier, since you were entering Mire at the point where it was down to flippers, it was like, if we find flippers in the first chest, can we still call it a God Mire?
Oh, 100% at that point. And that's when you start seeing even more angry slashes out of me.
Yeah, we saw a lot of that today. So Hospital was in for a bad day.
I tried to make it entertaining, throw a couple of extra stuff in there. When that one, what was it? That one dead rock in there got me. I was just
yeah.
You know what? That's it. You're getting quaked, sir.
And it even took 2 quakes too at that.
Yeah, I mistimed the first one. Oh well.
Yeah, although Michael did double bomb the pod big chest.
I completely understand it in his case there, you know? I mean, if you're
Yeah.
that far in and your last location, your thing, that's when you're just going, I'm gonna be unhappy.
We're still wondering where in GT those silvers were, since we kind of just saw the big key right away.
Well, nobody's gonna be getting them. I mean, Ken's pretty much our only hope, because it looks like Michael just ran right by him there. So.
Yep. And Tabby's on Ganon.
Well, right on. Well, thanks for guys getting these dailies back. I kind of missed doing them. You know, I kind of wish there was bigger crowds for these again, but, you know, we'll have to see. Kind of worry about the group being too splintered up, kind of like racing dailies and, you know, being able to see exactly where people, you know, make their gambles and stuff like that. But, yeah, thanks again for getting all of this set up.
Believe me, we're happy to be back here, quite frankly.
Well, I think I'm gonna let Tabby come in and have her time there, and I'm gonna take off, get on with the rest of my day there. So, y'all have a great night, and thank you for the restream.
Indeed, and GG to you once again.
Tabby getting the hint that Ganon's got the missing the torch glitch. Very quick torch out here.
Oof,
That's going to make this a little bit more difficult.
Indeed, although Tabby, I don't think... Yeah, Tabby still got a bottle of blue goo on hand, so plenty of backup plans in case things go horribly wrong here.
If I recall correctly, we also saw a green goo at some point during the run, so that shouldn't be too terribly bad.
We did, and I know somebody bought a green goo.
This is where that half magic comes really in handy.
Yeah, half magic increases Fire Rod max ammo to 16, so that gives you plenty of shots to work with. And it looks like Tabby is doing a fairly decent job going for 2 shots per cycle here. Does decide to burn the goo. Oh, and then gets bounced off.
And that's almost a worst-case scenario when Ganon is teleporting right at you as you're lighting the torches. You take a swipe, and down you go.
At the very least, is going back into this fight with almost a full load of magic, so we'll have 15 shots with the Fire Rod. Actually, it's going to be 14 shots, excuse me. She burned 2 with the torches. Hopefully, but this will at least offer another chance at Torch Glitch, which will hopefully preserve those remaining 14 shots. Ganon not in the best position to get a quick cycle, but looks like Tabby's going to break out the cape here.
And Michael is checking these last few chests for silvers. Of course, we know they're not up here.
Yep, they're somewhere in the basement. If I had to guess, probably behind Armos on Ice. And that is a play that nobody wants to see at this hour. Does succeed on the torch glitch this time, though, so we'll be able to preserve, looks like, 6 remaining shots on the Fire Rod. Ooh, was a little late on that spin, though. Manages to salvage the two spin cycle fairly well.
Even if you're not getting triples, getting doubles is always a good way to get out of here.
Oof, took a fire bat hit there. I think Tabby is down to at least the last 2 or 3 spins. Michael, however, is just done with Aga 2, so is hot on her heels. But ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in for TabbyCat54, who is going to be our second runner to, barring some kind of 1x3 bridge disaster again, cross the finish line here on Restream. And indeed, she finishes with an official race time of 1:50.24. And yeah, do what the Triforce said, by the way. Spam those GG emotes in chat.
But hold on, Michael is entering his Ganon fight. And gets a nice double spin off the staff.
And we are now joined in the booth by TabbyCat54. TabbyCat, GG to you.
GG's.
Yeah, not exactly the most pleasant seed we've seen, for sure.
It wasn't too terrible. I was more upset with the fact that what's it called? The blippers were on Vinny. That was like the worst.
It was. That, and as it turns out, Pod was a logical double dip because of Turtle Rock's lamp and Hookshot being in the big chest. Yeah, that was not a friendly Pod tonight.
That is why we practice dark rooms, kids. That freezing right there.
Yeah, no sign of the silvers tonight either, but at least the big key was in the Hope Room.
There was a silver lining on the rest of the seat, yeah.
We noticed that one Dead Rock in particular gave you quite a hard time. At least I think it was on your screen.
Yeah, that Dead Rock, actually, I don't know how I did it, but apparently I was clipped inside of the Dead Rock or something. I don't know. But I could not move, and I was like, okay, well, I guess we're just gonna wait this out.
Yeah, that was pretty comical, we must say.
Yeah, I was really grumpy. I fell on Ganon, and I was like, no, why Ganon, why? And then missing the torch glitch. So Ganon was like just not my best, but I was pretty happy with most of it though.
Well, for this, if nothing else, you worry about the torch glitch on the second try. But ladies and gentlemen, Michael 1985 is our third runner to finish on the Restream, and also third place overall with an official race time of 1:53.02.
Yeah, GG's. And Michael, another one of those beautiful silverless Ganon fights, did not miss a triple cycle the entire way.
Oh yeah, would you like to oh yeah, you saw Butter Sword at Zora Ledge, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah, I think Ken Ken has stopped for a minute. One moment. Not seeing a forfeit in the race time page. We are now joined in the booth by Michael 1985. Michael, GG to you.
Hello, GG. And yeah, that probably was painful to watch.
Yeah, the logic did you a dirty, didn't it?
Yeah, the crazy thing is I have no problem last locationing stuff, but I completely blanked in the dark room. I was like, I had no idea where I was anymore. And I was like, okay, how high is the chance that a progression item is in there? And then obviously with Maya being the flippers, what was a pretty bad place too, I had hookshot in the vanilla location, and then no, it was Palace of Darkness. I don't know, I completely blanked out. Normally the dark room is no problem for me.
The funny thing is the logic was expecting a forced double dip because you had to go get Quake in the dark basement, go back to Turtle Rock, and then go back to Pod to get the hook. That was not nice at all. But
yeah, until that point, I think the first 5 crystals I was super happy, and after that, everything pretty much derailed. But yeah, happened.
Yeah, Ken is actually just about to go into Meyer now to go grab those flippers. So, is there anything else? Anything else you two would like to comment on regarding the seed?
Well, I mean, I'd say that the seed started so friendly, and I was actually really, really happy about how friendly it was. Like Michael said, I was like, once I got my 5th crystal, I was like, man, I'm just booking it. It means that, flippers are definitely going to be in TR. We're all going to be good. We're going to be done with this thing by, like no time. And then, no, it's not there. Then, okay, well, then it's here. Oh, it's not there either. Wait.
Funny you say that, because I was hoping for like a 15-minute King's Tomb, and it ended up being 30 minutes, but still fairly early, and it ended up giving us at least a sword. So
yeah, I was happy that there was a sword in there, because I skipped the sword on the Sura ledge, and I was not planning on going back. And yeah, I was happy that there was one in there.
And actually, another funny thing was you were both going through ice, and I was saying, well, we found the shovel. Are we going to get the mushroom next? Literally next.
You mean you were the reason for that? Seriously?
I'm sorry.
Which, the bad thing about that particular thing was that all of those items were not hookshot locked. So actually, all of those items could have led to a hookshot. So when I got those, I was like, really? Well, maybe it's on a fetch quest item.
And I think flippers were technically behind that the lamp chain at the very least, because Meyer, to get to Vidi, you do still need lamp by logic. So yeah, you would have still had to go to pod, go to TR, and then either go back to pod or go to Vidi. Either way, this the casual is not really the appropriate word to describe this category tonight. Let's just put it that way.
I mean, usually whenever we start with any item, like swords or anything, you know there's going to be something that's going to trip you up. But then you start with, you get boots as well, and you're like, there's going to be something. Always a something.
Yeah, the only minor bummer is that pre-Kakariko there wasn't a bottle. Otherwise, you could have full cleared the whole place. But at least Ice Rod Cave had one. Days Cloud actually did keep that bee all the way to the end and throw it up the gauntlet in GT. It actually ended up working out quite well. With that said, once again, GG's to both of you for putting on a fantastic show for us this evening.
GG's.
Yeah, GG.
If you're not doing so already, I would invite everybody in chat here to follow our 4 runners who have voluntarily opted to go on Restream for us today.
Indeed, and we also have to take a minute to shout out our trackers this evening, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna and Tau Decay, who have both done a great job making sure everybody knows who has what, pressing all the buttons, and keeping the chat informed too. Especially with me and that iced tea kerfuffle.
What was an iced tea?
Nothing, because we thought for a second there was something in iced tea, but then we realized, wait, flippers can't be there. They kind of needed to get to the front door.
I was going to say, I didn't think there was because I grabbed all 3 items, but I mean...
That too.
You worried me for a second there. Like, did I miss something?
No, we realized that when you were going through. It's like, hey, shovel, green rupee, mushroom. Hey, that's 3 items. I can count.
Oh yeah, how about the hilarity of that mini Moldarm cave having, besides the green rupee, literally every other rupee type? And the double, both the grumpy fishes having 300s.
Well, at least we got a rebate, right?
Yeah, actually, all things considering, you ended up getting a net gain from both fishes. Alright, Ken has stopped for a second, and actually Ken has registered a DNF and will not be finishing. So, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude the race tonight. Signums, our other off-screen runner, has finished in 4th place with an official time of 2 minutes and 8 seconds.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Wow.
Wow,
Sorry,
that's a speed run.
Yeah, holy cow. That's more like how fast it takes to get to Zelda. 2 hours and 8 seconds. I'm so sorry. Ay. And Ken will be joining us in the booth, just needs a moment. And though the race has just about concluded, we would like to still welcome in all the folks coming in from Speed Gaming Portuguese and the main Speed Gaming channel. You are joining us on the tail end of the Link to the Past Randomizer daily race. This is definitely going to be a VOD you folks will want to watch when you get the chance, because boy, was it interesting. We had an early start and flippers in a root spot. And a logical double dip of a pendant dungeon. So yeah, folks, definitely watch back the VOD if you're just coming in on this one, because this will be an entertaining one.
Can we put entertaining in quotation marks?
Can we put casual in quotation marks?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
This is still better than my ladder race from yesterday.
Oh goodness, this is better than half of my ladder races, it seems like, recently.
Well, we are joined in the booth by Ken, by Link to the Past Ken. Ken, GG to you.
Hey, GG.
GG.
So,
Where was the flipper?
you are literally standing right in front of the door leading to them.
So it was on the boss of Meyer?
It was on Vidi.
Ah,
Yeah, no, flippers were rude today, of the highest order.
the lamp was
and-
worse.
Oh, yes. Pod was a logical force double dip. Pendant pod, no less.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Captain, didn't everybody last location the flippers on Restream?
Literally everybody last location the flippers on Restream. I wouldn't be surprised if Signums did the same thing.
It was that kind of night, Ken, so don't feel too bad about it.
Yeah, everybody last location their flippers.
Was that
everybody-
the first one to get the hook shot from Pod?
No, I think that was Days Cloud. I think it was, at least.
I think you're right there, because Days went ahead and did the Dark Room and Pod before they went up the mountain to Turtle Rock.
Interestingly, you're all finishing with tempered swords as well. I think the butter sword you passed up on, Ken, was Zorledge.
But I didn't have the flippers to get it.
Yeah, that would have been a really late sword, all things considering, but at least King's Tomb gave you a freebie.
Anybody find the silver?
Nope.
We
As
know
far
they're
as
in
we're
GT.
aware, they're somewhere in the basement of Ganon's tower.
Yeah, I'm thinking Ice Armos, but chat's probably thinking Tile Room. I mean, it's happened.
Did you guys see how happy I was when I found the lamp?
Yes. Although, admittedly, we did see that there was a large amount of frustration going on tonight. Especially when it came to the pod and the lamp, because Michael unfortunately kind of followed the logic to the ladder and did actually double dip pod.
Well, I don't know that dark room good enough.
So, well, is there anything else you folks want to say about the seed before we close out this evening?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for giving me the opportunity again to be restreamed. I will definitely do the dark room in pod tomorrow all day, that I not forget again how to go through the. Like I said, it's it will be a rough sleep now. I go through there normally every time, and then all of a sudden it was gone, and I decided, let's go out there. There is nothing there. But yeah, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be here, and thanks for commentating, tracking, and thanks for watching.
I'm gonna echo everything he just said. And thanks so much for having me on there.
Yeah, I need to practice the dark rooms.
All right. Once again, GG's to all of you, and thank you again for taking the time out of your night to run for the folks at home and give them a fantastic show. Again, folks, if you are not already following these 4 runners that have appeared on Restream for you, please do so. And again, we want to shout out our trackers, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna and Tau Decay, for making sure everybody knows who has what tonight. And Zeruvian, it was a pleasure joining you up here in the booth.
It was nice to work with you finally. Although, I apologize for the smashed toes.
The what?
The smashed toes for stepping on you all night.
Oh, no, that's all right. It happens. Plus, there's a lot going on. It's rando.
Yeah, and we're talking in stereo a lot of the time, so that's really not the worst thing.
Indeed. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for watching. We wish you a good rest of your evening, and we will see you next time.